You've probably heard a ton about AI agents, right? But what happens when you try to make them work together? Well, that's what we're diving into today, the multi-agent pattern. And let me tell you, this is way more than just the next buzzword in enterprise AI. It's a whole new way of thinking, not just about automation, but really about how you run their business and maintain control. Okay, I love this analogy because it just nails the problem. Even the best running back goes nowhere if the line doesn't block in sync. Think about that for a second. You can have the most brilliant superstar AI agents in the world, right? But if they aren't working together, perfectly coordinated, the whole thing just falls apart. It's a total mess. All that amazing individual talent, it's completely wasted without a solid game plan and everyone executing their part. And look, the stakes here are, well, they're huge. We're talking about a potential performance jump of over 90%. According to McKinsey, a well-structured team of agents can absolutely crush what a single super advanced AI can do on its own for complex stuff. So no, this isn't just a little tweak or a small efficiency gain. This is a complete game changer in terms of what's possible. And if you're thinking, okay, this sounds interesting, but it's probably years away, you got to rethink that. Right now, today, over 60% of enterprises are already playing in this space. I mean, look at the numbers. Almost a quarter are actively scaling these systems, and nearly 40% are deep in experimentation. This isn't science fiction, folks. This is happening right now, and it's a huge business reality you can't ignore. All right, so with all that incredible potential, what's the catch? Well, here it is. Coordination chaos. This is the big, messy secret that you never, ever see in those slick, perfect tech demos. It's the chaotic reality of what happens when you try to get these things to actually work together in a real business environment. And the cost of getting this wrong? It's not pretty. Gartner is predicting that a whopping 40%, 40, of these kinds of AI projects are going to be completely canceled by 2027. And why? It all comes back to that chaos. Costs spiral out of control. Nobody can figure out if they're actually getting any value, and the risks are just too high. These are all just symptoms of one root cause, a total failure to coordinate. So let's break down why they fail. And honestly, it sounds a lot like a dysfunctional human team, doesn't it? You've got agents with unclear roles, so of course they're stepping on each other's toes and giving you conflicting answers. Communication breaks down, and one tiny mistake suddenly snowballs into a massive system failure. There's no central accountability, so who's even in charge? Agents get stuck arguing with each other in endless loops and trying to figure out what went wrong? Forget about it. It's an absolute nightmare. You're not just debugging code at that point. You're basically a detective trying to solve a crime by listening to a garbled conversation between a bunch of confused AIs. Okay, so here's the pivot. Here's the most important thing to get. The solution isn't to go out and find a smarter AI agent. Nope. The solution is structure. This is how we get from that total chaos to clear, effective coordination. And the magic word here is orchestration. So what is that really? Well, think of it as the conductor of an orchestra, or maybe the project manager for your team of AIs. It's the system that hands out assignments, steps in to resolve fights, and makes sure every single agent is held accountable for its work. It's what transforms a messy, free-for-all chat room of AIs into a well-oiled, predictable workflow that actually gets stuff done. So if you're a leader, what does this actually mean for you? It boils down to 3 core principles. It's your roadmap. First, define clear roles. Your job is to make sure every single agent has a crystal clear job description. What does it take in? What does it produce? Zero ambiguity. Second, control centrally. You have to manage the workflow. This isn't about letting the AIs figure it out on their own. No, you are designing an assembly line with set steps, not running an improv comedy show. And third, and this one is absolutely non-negotiable, keep humans in the loop. You and your team decide where the buck stops, where a human has to sign off on a big decision or validate the final output. This is the framework. This is how you go from a cool science project to a system you can actually rely on. Okay, so you've got the framework, but now you're probably asking, when should I even use this? It sounds complicated. That's a great question. Let's walk through a quick roadmap for making the right call for your business. This really breaks it down for you. You go with a multi-agent system when the problem is complex enough that you need different kinds of experts weighing in, when having multiple viewpoints actually makes the final product better, and when you can split up the work to get it done faster. On the other hand, if the task is pretty straightforward, step by step, and you absolutely need a predictable outcome every single time, A single, powerful agent is almost always the smarter bet. It's cheaper, simpler, and way easier to manage. Remember, it's about using the right tool for the job, not just picking the most complex one because it sounds cool. All right, let's wrap this up with the most important takeaway. When we talk about multi-agent AI, please don't think of it as just a tech problem. It's not. At its core, it is a leadership challenge, and your leadership here is completely non-negotiable. I think this quote says it all. Multi-agent systems without orchestration are like organizations without leaders. You'll see a ton of activity, a lot of chatter between the AIs, but there's no direction, no actual progress, and certainly no accountability. You're just spinning your wheels, generating motion without ever getting any real results. So if there's one thing you remember from this, let it be this. Success in this area has nothing to do with having the most agents or the smartest agents. It all comes down to one thing: structure. It comes down to you, as a leader, enforcing clear rules, defining the workflows, and governing how everything gets done. That's how you get predictable, high-quality results, period. And that leaves us with one final question to think about. The real challenge here isn't a technical one. It's not about can your agents coordinate. The real question is, can your organization govern them? Because having that discipline, having that structure, well, that's the difference between a cool but useful science project and a real strategic asset that's going to drive incredible value for your business.